Greetings, this is Frosty Thundertrod, and today I am going to talk about the November developer update for Ashes of Creation. This development update was focused on the crafting systems from gathering to final production. To start off with, the announcement that the quarter of the Alpha 2 being announced today was an error. They will be announcing when Alpha 2 will be starting in the December live stream. To get to the topic at hand, as you can see in front of you, I've got a screenshot here of the interface, and I really like how this interface is looking. It's clean, it's simple, but it's not incomplete. It's got everything you need, and it's what I was hoping for. Um, there's no fancy, artwork and scrolling. If you look along the top green bar, you can see just a little bit of etching in the top border. So that's a nice little detail. They also showed off the inventory system a little bit. Let me get up to that. Here we go. The inventory system is kind of a Tetris system where certain class of items have certain shapes, and then they can all go into your main bag, which is just one big block of squares, and then you can move them around and try to stack as much in there as you can, but the stack size is somewhat limited, as to oppose where you have specialty bags, as you can see on the screen in front of you, are for have their slots set up in the right size and shape for that type of item, and they can do a larger stack. Up here in the top, you can see where he drug the log from his main inventory, which was a stack limit of 10, to the specialized wood inventory. Now he can have a stack up to 20. This Tetris system, I think, is going to need a little bit of testing because I can see where it can get frustrating. But it gives you something to do. So we'll see how this works out in the long run. You can buy various types of gear. Here you can see some clothing that can improve your crafting abilities. And here you are subject to attack while you're out harvesting. Here we go, more another shot of the inventory system. Here you can see the skill system, the skill trees. Every time you level up, you get a skill point, and then you can put it into this tree. You got 3 different branches, kind of, although it looks like more like 2 in the way they got this set up. But you have the surveying branch, which lets you find more resources easier. And then over here on the other side, you got kind of a dueling branch, which will give you either higher production or higher quality. So you get to choose between quantity or quality. I'm not sure if you have enough points to max all these out or not. As you go into areas further away from the towns or the nodes, you get better resources. And areas like this corruption here, resources you harvest in the corruption area are corrupted, and they require a higher level of skill to harvest than their base items. You make your own tools, and tools have durability. Tools have stats to them such as construction speed. The novice lumberjacking axe, as you can see here, has had a skill of 5. The apprentice lumberjacking axe has a lumberjacking speed of 30. Watching him use both, the apprentice lumberjacking axe was significantly faster, and it was clear to see just how much faster it was. After harvesting, you bring your resources back to the node or to the freehold to be processed. You don't do the processing yourself. You instead go to a workstation and the NPC does the processing for you. It has been said, Stephen said, that processing can be done best in freeholds. However, final crafting, the best stations for that are found inside of nodes. So there is need for both freeholds and nodes in the crafting system. When you come up to do crafting, you can queue jobs. When you're crafting at a workstation inside of a node, you have a 3 work order queue. Inside the nodes, this is per character, so it will be your queue. Inside freeholds, since only the people who are allowed to use that freehold can use it, the queue is based on the station itself. So everybody goes into the same queue. In the freeholds, in the nodes, everybody has their own queue. Crafting is done in stations using fuel. You can use just about anything for fuel, but there are some items in the game, such as coal, which is specifically designed to be fuel. Putting in fuel of larger quantities and higher quality will improve the quality of the products you get out. This was most directly displayed when they were crafting the sword at the very end of the stream, because they upgraded from just a basic, common night blade up to a heroic night blade by putting in really good materials. Additionally, when you're out harvesting, the materials available do vary during the day. They harvest one flower, which was available during the day, but it wasn't blooming, so it was hard to find. As opposed at night, when they went out, the flower was blooming and glowing slightly, so it was very easy to find. Another resource they harvest was the night opal. The night opal was only available at night. You could not harvest it during the day whatsoever. I also noticed when he was harvesting basalt that when he harvests a silver colored basalt node, he got both basalt and zinc. When he harvests a brown color basalt node, he got basalt and copper. So it appears that the nodes are color coded for what their secondary ingredient might be, if they have a secondary ingredient. The trees are distinct, as in the ash trees and the oak trees look different from each other, and they were consistent. Every time you went up to an oak tree, it looked like an oak tree in the world. However, the in-world representative of an oak tree does not look like an oak tree in the real world, and the ash tree also did not look like an ash tree in the real world. So these are very stylized but distinct, so you will need to learn what the trees look like when you're looking for a certain type of wood. Otherwise, you can just walk up close to it and get a tooltip. However, once you know what type of wood you're looking for, what the tree looks like, you'll be able to scan the whole forest quickly and just pick out the ones you want. And you can also tell when you're at the crafting station and you have your orders queued, you don't have to just stand there and watch. You can go away and do your own thing while it works through the queue. And you will be able to look over at the crafting station and see if the worker is still working or if he's stopped and just standing by the station. This is individualized, meaning if your worker is working for you, you will see it working. However, anybody else going by that does not have anything queued in that station will just see the worker just standing there. So this is a bit of world instancing, which it's a quality of life improvement, and it makes sense. A few other random screen captures here. I really do like how this game is looking. I think the weapons are a little bit too large, but that is a common thing, especially here. In the real world, this sword would be so incredibly heavy and hard to use. But in game, having it this large lets you be able to see all the fine detail and the work they put into developing it. In fact, in the real world, there was a type of weapon called a brandishing sword, which were made to be larger than normal, just so that people could see the craftsmanship and the detail into them. They were used in ceremonial functions, but they generally weren't taken out and used in actual combat. They would stay in the throne room or the lord's room and the keep. They didn't go out and fight, and they were often used as badges of office. So while preferably I would rather have weapons realistically sized, I understand why they do it, and I'm willing to let it pass since this is a game and people like to see their bling. Another screenshot here where he's getting ready to start uh, refining copper and zinc. And you can see the queue across the top. I don't know if you can increase your queue at some point. I'm guessing you can because it looks like there's at least room for 2 more queues in this interface box. Graphical bug there. Steven's pants seem to have disappeared. The nighttime is a little bit darker, but in this scene here, there's a full moon. So I think this darkness level is about right for a clear night with a full moon. This is during the day, and this is at night. So this is a full moon night, because in the real world, a full moon night with a clear sky is very bright. However, I don't know if there are moon phases or if it's cloudy, or if some days it will be like truly, truly dark, or if this is just as dark as it gets. But it's definitely darker than what it was the last time they showed day-night transactions. See, this here is getting closer to what I would call more of a natural dark night. There's still ambient light around, from the moon and the stars, but you can tell it's nighttime, it looks dark. Thank you very much for watching.